Behold, the silent death is here. Heroes to conquer, dressed in fear. Don't make a sound, don't let them hear. Cause if you're found, then you'll be disappear. I'm coming for glory. This is the only way to be. You've heard all my stories, you know it's in my destiny. No pain, no love, it's a long game, focus. Dive in the war, be the soldier. No difficulty can hold us. Keep looking out for the danger, even from things that we seem to love. Just with a snap of my fingers, enemy turn to dust.
Now keep coming, keep knocking my door. It's the bloodshed that leaves me hungry for more. Always ready for war, feasting on the applause. Cause victory is written inside my core. So come on,
now bring it on. I've been waiting for too long. My rage is roaring, stronger than a storm.
so come on. Can you feel it now? This is what I'm talking about. The craving sound inside my mind for days and hours. I say it loud, say it proud.
I got my dreams in me. Here come the killing spree. Can't be defeated, cause I am believing. Let victory make history.
There will be pains again, but then we gain from it. We never aim the same. Yeah, it's hurricane in my lane, that's raining flame away. If you wanna taste of my game, there'll be silent cut, the violent rush. Even lights get shut with the direct touch. I need no luck, cause I'm the one, and this is my winning song. So come on.
Now bring it on. I've been waiting for too long. My rage is roaring, stronger than a storm.
So come on, can you feel it now? This is what I'm talking about. The craving sound inside my mind for days and hours. I say it loud, say it proud.
I got my dreams in me. Here comes the killing spree. Can't be defeated, cause I am believing. Let victory make history. I got my dreams in me. Here comes the killing spree. Can't be defeated, cause I am believing. Let victory make history.
Hi, welcome everyone, I am Leandro Amica e eu quero desejar a todos participantes do torneio Summer League um bom jogo. Good luck to all!
My name is Justin and you might know me from the Live with Masters channel. I would just quickly like to wish all of the participants of AoV Summer League 2021 good luck on that big prize pool, and everybody else so much fun on watching the content. Hope to see you all on the battlefield soon, guys.
Hello, I'm Alfonso Gardeazabal, once again speaking on behalf of the Arena of Valor development team. We've got a great new Arena of Valor update coming your way, and I'm here to bring you all the first-hand news straight from the development team. We're really pleased to see that the championship, which underwent a major update in the previous update, was well received. One of my coworkers tells me how they competed in every match with friends and managed to win only one championship, making them a single crown champion. Although the competition was very challenging, they say that the fun of competing as a team against other teams was truly something memorable. To players who have won multiple championships, you have my heartfelt admiration. All right then, back to business it is. Let's take a closer look at what we've got for you in this new update. We've always shown zero tolerance towards match-breaking or abusive behaviors. However, the algorithm has always been one of the most difficult to optimize in the entire game. Therefore, we are continuing to improve the algorithm.
Maybe Yugi, could you start? Maybe?
Okay.
Sure, yeah, okay. So Yugi, what do you want to do tonight? Like, you want to do color? I'll do play-by-play.
Whatever you can. You should do play-by-play. I'll do color.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let's get into it then.
Okay.
Shadow, can you count us in? All right, hello everybody. We are live into a matchup here. WhySoo versus I'm gonna butcher this name, but wait, how do you pronounce this in German?
D hanger. We just call it DG because we can't pronounce.
DG?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I love that. Okay. Sorry, guys. DG. It's gonna be a representative from France and
Germany.
from Germany, right? WhySoo is representing France. DG is representing Germany. It's gonna be a really fun match tonight here.
Yes. We could see from the first ban tick, they ban out Chi and Arrow, who can both play solo and Slayer lane here.
Fantastic. Yeah, they're just gonna be banning out some of these heroes right now. It looks like Hayate is gonna be the next one to be to get banned out over here. Not too much surprises right now. We're gonna have to see what kind of strategies they go for. Now let's just talk a little bit about what kind of match is you are watching tonight. It's gonna be a best of 5 tonight, and they are playing in the quarterfinals. We already had one quarterfinals go down this morning. It was let me just take a look at the roster. Sorry.
Oh, it was
It was AMK versus Trash Gang, and AMK went 3-0 against Trash Gang. I'm told that it was still a very, very nice match there. Trash Gang actually won a bunch of those team fights, but just unfortunate that they weren't able to pick up on that core and winning their matches. So AMK is going to move forward to the semifinals, which will happen July 29th. Right now we're watching the quarterfinals. And tomorrow we'll have 2 more quarterfinal games. Again, best of 5, and they will decide who the the other 2 semifinal teams are, and we'll play those 2 semifinals out.
yes. Well, AMK out macro the Trash Gang. Otherwise, Trash Gang won most team fights.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And now we have a very nice little macro capable pick here. Zip. Yes, that's gonna be fun to see. We've seen it banned out so many times. Actually, for the games that I've casted, they've been banned out almost every single time. So I haven't been able to see a Zip play in my commentary plays.
Actually, this morning both teams left Zip open and
Really
another game with Zip first. I think it's supposed to leave it open so that they basically get it out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, because this is a best of 5, and we do have global ban picks. So once you pick up a player, you're not supposed to be able to play them anymore. So that could work into the strategies of both teams here.
Oh yes, and Sephira is also hovered. That is really strange. That means doubles.
Or maybe Sapera into the mid. That's what we're seeing here.
Lane here is leave a lot to be desired though.
They're gonna switch it out. Yeah, nice choice there. Picking some maybe something to more I guess traditional here. Actually, I don't know. Maybe there is a use for Sephora in the mid lane, but in this scenario, you don't really know who's getting played on the right hand side, on the DG side here. So Sephora getting picked out there seems to be maybe too early if they were trying to decide on some strategies.
Yes,
it's gonna be Scud, Ibenith, Ari, Zip. Those are the 5 characters that we have right now, and Lubu getting hovered.
Well, yes. Usually when you see Sephira mid, it's comboed with a double marksman comp.
Double marksman comp.
If you see Sephira get picked on the mid lane.
I see. Interesting. Yeah. Sephora for me does a lot of pokes, a lot of range on that. So I guess if you had, if you had someone who fears poke, like have a little bit shorter range, you could use your poke on the mid lane to sort of push them away from clearing the mid wave. But Sephora also doesn't have a very fast lane clear. So yeah, again, we're happy to see Liliana here on the side of WhySoo. I think that's a pretty good choice here. Able to just poke out a lot of people and still be quite aggressive with her Fox form.
Yes, and I'm expecting to see both Kathleen and Violet this first game here. At least one of them.
Okay. Who do you think is gonna pick up the Kathleen? Who do you think might pick up the Violet here?
WhySoo pick up Violet makes more sense since Liliana and Violet is a combo people use to poke out basically. To poke out teams basically. Or even an Elsu is usually used with the Liliana.
But they do have a Zip there. So I mean, if they're gonna pick up an Alsu, it feels kind of wasteful because Alsu does have that disengage to be able to get him out of trouble, not really needing that Zip's skill there.
Well, the thing with Zip is playing an aggressive Zip that basically takes your teammate and roll them in is more effective than actually playing a defensive Zip.
True. You're right. And then so you're saying that maybe playing Aosu there, keeping himself safe, maybe frees up the Zip to do something else. You know what? I kind of like that. For sure. And right now, on the side of DG, we haven't really seen any of the Zip counters in terms of the support. We saw the Ibeneth getting picked up here, probably a comfort pick in my opinion. A lot of times you see Zip coming out from one side, the other side might choose something like an Ata and a Net to just control where the Zip can roll. But right now that is not the case. Banned out, however, are those two marksman hero that Yugi was talking about, or Yugi was suggesting for these two teams, Caphony and Violet, as well as the Joker, out of contention, and it's gonna be Thorn as well.
So we will see Limbs and Morin on the next in line as tier 1 marksmen.
That's a 5 marksmen getting taken out right away. That's kind of crazy. You might, I think I'd suggest one of these teams to at least pick up a marksman now. I mean, you know, if you don't pick up a marksman route for DG, you're gonna start to be able to. You're not gonna be able to have many choices left. Okay, lots of marksmen getting hovered. Ooh, Linda's getting hovered here. Linda's got the new patchwork. I think it is online now for EU as well.
Yes.
Yeah, ultimate is different now.
Yeah, she has a dash on her ultimate, and her ultimate does damage like Vera's ultimate.
Yeah, very exciting stuff if they're going to be able to pull that one out to use. It's the Laville and Fennec getting looked at here.
And Laville.
Choose the Laville.
I would go Brahilda because it really combos well with the Ifnit.
Oh yeah. Okay, Ibeneth opens up the Nature's Realm, and then you get the ultra long siege mode of that Brunhilde. I like that. Wow, you got a lot of creative ideas here for combos. Awesome stuff. I mean, okay, and then on the other side here, Laville getting picked out, and it's gonna be the Yorn hover here. How do you feel about that? Myself, I'm not really sure.
Well, they kind of put themselves in this corner, but since they have a Zip, Yorn might be effective. Yes, because Yorn still does quite a bit of true damage with his passive, and that's very good to go against a Nif here. The problem
they're just gonna have to be careful here, because take a look at the Zip, okay, and then you got the Ibeneth, Lubu, and Irie. Lubu and Irie, they're gonna jump in onto this Yorn, trying to take him out basically at all costs. And you're gonna just have to make sure that the Zip is there on time to be able to suck Yorn up and maybe take him somewhere else. But then you got Ibeneth, who might be there to just provide that extra bit of stun up onto Zip, that extra bit of slow onto Zip, and make him unable to suck Yorn up at the very first moment.
Yes, and I'm expecting very long fights coming up from both of these team comp with the Scud and the Zip from Team WhySoo, and the Ifneth Lubu. I'll probably also heroes are quite tanky, so this might be a very, very long fight, drawn out fights coming out for both teams here.
Okay, it's gonna be the mid here, final pick coming out from DG. It was the Ignis. Ignis came back to the hover. They went and suggested maybe looking at the Crixie, long range for that Liliana. Interesting. It's gonna be difficult because again, that Zip can always have the opportunity to take away that middle lane. The Liliana should have that lane priority all the time, especially on the first wave. Very difficult choice here for the side of DG. They're gonna lock down with the Ignis. I do like that because it just provides a little bit more control, pairs well with the Ibeneth, and then it opens up a lot of room for Irie and Lubu just to go hands on the entire battlefront over there. I think Ignis here should be a good choice, but we'll have to see what exactly happens.
One more thing we have to point out, and because of this so many bans on marksman, is probably because of alchemy, making them probably a bit too strong this meta right now.
10 seconds.
Yeah, we don't really have a very, very good idea for how to play into that alchemy just yet. his effectiveness in providing ganks to this enemy marksman is going to be lessened.
Well, I think Ryoma is just picked there to deal with Irie really quickly and rotate. Because one thing we have to point out though is because this is a BO5 with global ban pick, you probably have to save some heroes, especially when Lubu and Irie are probably also going to be seen being played in the jungle as well. So
actually, they do have, like, DG has already stacked up quite a lot of their picks and made sure, you know, they've already shown a lot of good picks out here in the very first match. So I think they need to win this one.
I think both sides has a very strong team comp. Only Yon and Ryoma are counting it out of meta here.
Yeah.
On DG side is a 5 meta hero basically, team comp.
Exactly. That is what I think so too. Over here, we're already going into it. Ryoma showing us that early game potency, but for you, Ignis is out in the back using his skills and just poking down Yumi Shimeng. He's really low now. Everybody coming in here for the middle wave. A couple of pokes down from Ananas on that Ryoma. He's been doing really well getting those pokes in. Lubu, half health. He's into his blue side jungle. Both sides, mid lane, are going to recall now to try and fight for this next wave.
Yes, well, as we see, it's basically just a light skirmish as we expected, since Ryoma is going to try and get as much advantage as possible.
Yeah, well played there. Well played there.
We can actually see this, that this Yon outranges heavily this Laville. Really interesting there. I thought Laville would have a slight...
Oh, here is Ryoma, slightly over-engaged here a little bit. He's trying to pick on a Lubu that has already reached level 4. He's going to have to go down first. However, the rest of the troop comes here. Scud picking up Lubu now as a revenge here. Yorn is in the back just trying to deal a whole ton of damage, but unfortunately he doesn't have quite enough. Here is the Irie. He just comes in to finish up 2 of the enemies. Before you, again, providing so much burn damage onto the side. Oh man, WhySoo just doesn't have quite as enough damage as they want to be able to in that fight, and it is going to be a 3-4-1 trade. Irie uses the ultimate here. He's going to continue to chase down this Ryoma, but unfortunately first ability does not land, and she's going to have to back off.
Well, we could also see that here with the rotations, Zip is actually staying with Liliana quite often here and just letting Yon deal with Laville. Yon has a range advantage on Laville either way.
Yeah, I do like that. And I think right now both sides are going to go for that strategy. Bennett now is going to go with Ignis as well. Maybe setting up some ganks or maybe some interceptions towards this mid side. Like that right now they're zoning out Zip and Liliana here. Just a little bit of pokes. Nothing much happening though. Mid wave taken out without any sort of hiccups. Both sides just on either side of the mid lane, really, just into their own bushes, kind of checking each other out. Nothing really happening. Shumeng over here is still at full health after that little bit of poke from Ignis. But Ignis now is going to have to be careful as a whole bunch of people engages. Scud jumps in with that knock up there. Irie, however, in a little fight with the Ryoma, Zip sucks everybody up and just gets out of there. Ryoma is going to be have to be the one to fall there. The lane comes through 4 members of DG just fighting down that middle tower, but unfortunately they weren't able to get that as GTL on the Scud jumps in to distract them and keep that tower nice and safe. It's going to be a 1-for-0 trade, DG upper hand, but they're not able to convert that into towers. However, a little bit of ambush coming through. Ryoma just walking directly into that. He just came out of the fountain, but now he is so low. He kind of went for, he kind of dodged that Yorn bullet, thinking it was the Laville's double trouble, but it wasn't. Down at the bottom side, double trouble lands onto the Yorn. Yorn is so low, Laville, not quite enough damage, and now he's going to be in trouble now. Scud jumps in, he has his enhanced normal attack. Yorn comes back to the fight, and it's going to be Laville falling down.
Well, that's what we expect from a Yon, just outranging him and just poking him out of the game, basically.
That was a really nice gank rotation coming from the Scud as well. Zip and Scud coming down to finish up that Laville. He was a little bit overextended. He almost had to kill. It was so close, but right now in these kind of games, so close is not quite enough.
As I told my teammates before, if it happens once, it's luck. If it happens twice, it's skill. So being able to dodge like that is probably some skill in calculating the amount of damage you can take.
Oh yeah. Here's Bennett trying to fight for that little sentinel bird. Still, it's gonna have to go over to the side of WhySoo. Both sides really even on gold. It's gonna be an exciting game. Now 5 members of DG is going to find themselves trapping in 3 members of WhySoo. WhySoo, Zip rolls out and trying to save himself. Arctic Orb used here by Yorn, but I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this massive dive coming through from DG. Scud comes into the fray. When one falls down from Ibeneth, is going to fall down from DG. He is alright. He's the support. Meanwhile, Yorn, Ananas is going to be here on the top side trying to make some trades happen. It was the tower disrupt. It was the tower disrupt that was able to at least keep this tower alive for so long. But now the 3 members of DG is going to complete their job here. They do get a favorable trade. His kill score right now coming to a 7-3.
I don't actually think it's favorable since they lost both from tier 1 and tier 2 towers from the top side there.
That is true. A very nice trade coming through from the Ryoma. He knows that he couldn't get there in time and went to trade out those towers.
Yes, and Irie has probably more impact than Ryoma in the team fight right now, so it's a good thing he went in split push.
Unfortunately, though, Ryoma is just going to get and taper off in terms of his effectiveness as the game drags on. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see him do too much in the early game. He did get those jungle pokes, but that was about it. V4U in a little bit of a trouble. He thought he could burn out. Don't be salty here on the Yorn, but Yorn is getting his damage up. Not really sure what his items are, but
he certainly hurts. Yorn has definitely got a Blitz Plate and a Senti there.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, both of those items coming up. He should be dealing a lot of damage, and you saw that happening. Ignis just getting poked down mercilessly.
Yes, we could see a slight advantage coming from Team DG here.
Ooh, here, Irie.
Yes.
Nothing really much happening. Just a little scare.
I'm surprised Team DG is playing so aggressive with their team comp here.
Well, they do have a little bit of morale advantage. They do have that 7-3 score, but gold-wise, they're very, very close, and they have to be careful, especially Don't Be Salty, as we were just talking about his build. It is already shaping up. Oh, but Ibeneth is going to charge forward. He went with the Tower Disrupt. Lubu is going to follow through with that damage. Zips that sucked the people up, but he's going to have to back out now. And unfortunately, Yorn could not survive that, even though he got sucked up. I guess the Zip didn't have his roll ready or something like that. But yeah, just maybe a little bit of underestimating how much damage Team DG can do. They're going to be onto the Slayer now. That was unfortunately 2 members coming down, falling down again from WhySoo. Another little fight coming now. Lubu on the top there is going to open up Conqueror. Conqueror, unfortunately, not being able to save himself. Scud jumping in, trying to deal a little bit of damage, but Liliana now into the front. He did pick up the Lubu kill. Unfortunately, not being able to survive. It's going to have to fall as well. Now 4 members of DG still surviving. Don't Be Salty is going to be trying to just take down this Dark Slayer. He's just standing there and dealing a ton of damage. Milk Tea was there tanking up most of that. He was so tanky, he was able to survive that one. And Zip kind of just said to Yorn, it's not worth it. Let's get out of here.
He actually, I think that Zip played with Yorn a bit longer, trying to get down the Ifnet. That way the Dark Slayer wouldn't have mattered. Since it's a 4v5, even the Dark Slayer, you can't push basically. I
think so too. I think so. It was kind of maybe a slight bit of miscommunication there from the teammates there. as Zip was afraid. Yorn definitely was just kind of like, I want to do more. Oh, but no, here we go. Zip had to choose one person to suck up, and she went for the Liliana, and Yorn's gonna fall out from at the get-go here in this team fight. The massive die potential coming in from the DG side. Lubu jumps in, clears up Dryoma as well. GTL also really low, just tail between his leg. He has to run. Lane coming through here, mid lane. It's gonna crash through.
I think they can clear this wave quite quickly, so it should be fine. No, they lose the tower.
Unfortunately, Shumei wasn't able to reach that lane there. His second ability was kind of blocked out by all those bodies. And over here, GTL tried to go forward a little bit, but that was the Lubu and the Irie just saying no to that one. Shutdown kill comes over from Liliana as she was able to pick up a Lubu trying to get across the tower and back into the safe zone. Irie was able to get out. She does get a little bit of a heal up on that. She's falling down really low. Yorn's going to be able to finish her off as they were just trying to create some room there for the carries to pick off the tower, but the lane was also taken out. Excellent defense there. Now it's going to be a 4 vs 2, but it looks like DG is not going to let go on that advantage to try and snowball a little bit more. The entire blue side jungle they take.
I think WhySoo should have been aggressive there and chase those two out completely. The other three are dead, so I don't see the point in letting them leave so easily.
Yeah, you know what? I definitely agree with you there. It was 3 members of DG, all the big burly men, or rather, they're not really all men, but anyway, the tankier people, the warrior kind of people, they all died, so it was only the 2 carries left, wide open season, but WhySoo didn't chase.
Yes. Now we could see basically the ban picks coming back to hunt WhySoo here, with that Yorn being too difficult to protect by the Zip here.
Yorn, however, coming up to 8.7k. He is a little bit behind of the Laville, but he's still gonna hurt. We're going to have to see how he position himself. It's going to be vitally important. It's going to be a Slayer fight coming through. Meaty Kizibenneth, he opens up his Nature's Realm, trying to suck up on some of that HP. Was able to tank enough and get out, but for a second there, his HP bar was just dropping like, I don't know, like soup. Like soup in, I don't know.
Yes, but at the end of the day, he was meaty enough to survive. Sorry for the fun.
Over here, Liliana spotted out on the top side. Lubu is gonna try and engage that 3-stage. The Red Stallion does catch her up. He's gonna be poked down to half HP. Ryoma spotted down on the bottom side. This Dark Slayer should be an okay take. Don't be salty. Trying to just deal some damage is the correct move here as he tries to contest that. But Lubu is gonna be able to use that punish to be able to get that. Oh, actually, to be able to secure that Dark Slayer.
Position again, though.
He gets taken out, and now the fight still continues. GTL's in the front line. He's really tanky, taking up a whole bunch of damage. Okay, he was just trying to make sure that the rest of the team is going to survive, and they get out of that one. 5 vs 4 is going to be a Pearl now for WhySoo as they face down one wave coming through. Irie taking the top wave in. They're still going to have a Drake here, not yet released.
I think with Ryoma, Iliana, and even Scott, they have a lot of good wave clear, so I don't think it's gonna be that easy to push. Coming out though from the Dragon gets released on Dragon Lane basically. That Drake is gonna slowly build up and maybe a good wave of minions here, and then it's gonna push in. They want to push in all 3 waves to create pressure here from team DG.
Oh, that was a really fast Abyssal Dragon take here. It's gonna be a 4-1 split coming through. GTL is gonna engage into the big pack of DG coming through. Hanji, he's gonna just jump into that and trying to take out the Yorn, but Zipsuck is gonna be there in time. It becomes GTL being caught out there, left alone by himself. He's gonna fall first. The lane is still here. This tower should go down, no problem. But they're not going to have any more minions to be able to take this tower, or not, because the last cannon is going to survive. Everybody's onto the core. They're just clicking it down mercilessly. Nice job to DG. Lubu, throughout that entire fight, was in the front, pushing the entire WhySoo team back. Yorn had to go back to just get healed up. He didn't deal as much damage as we would have liked in that last final match. And congratulations to DG.
Yes, and to be honest, I'm really quite surprised. WhySoo was so dominant in the group stage. DG had some their iffy moments, but here they really turned it up.
Oh yeah. Of course, we do have the three the three very meta picks here coming out from DG. We do have to worry about their next few games in terms of the draft composition, but a win is a win. DG is gonna take that one now, 1-0, and we'll have to see what happens in the next 2 games. Dominant performance. Everybody sharing a good equal share of damage. Lubu 23%, 25% coming out from the Laville, 24% coming out from the Ignis, and we saw the Irie doing the split pushing in the end over there, trying to distract the players from WhySoo and bringing in some lanes over there so that the attacks can continue. Ebeneth with a 35% damage taken. That's matched up with a 34% damage taken from GTL. Wow, GTL also did a really good job on his side. 22% damage there. 55% participation. He sure did a whole ton. And it's also the Liliana and Yorn there with a massive amounts of damage for themselves as well.
Yes, well, Yorn with his passive will always do a lot of damage. It's just where that damage landed. And I think the damage from the Yorn landed on Evenith a bit too much this game.
A little bit too much, and he did not punish it, the Ebeneth for all of those little bits of, shall we say, naughty business. Because Ebeneth kind of just stood there for him. He just went, okay, you shoot me, I'll still survive. And they weren't able to pack it in for Ebeneth, and Ebeneth just kind of got away for that,
Yes. And right now, we would like to thank our sponsors for this first great game. Timmy, Trovo, and AoV for the 100k vouchers and the €150 prize pool.
That's really fantastic. These are the top 8 teams that you're watching right now. We've went through 1 quarterfinal. This is the 2nd quarterfinals. They are going to be vying for those excellent prizes, and it's gonna be a tough one. Like you were just saying earlier there, Yugi, WhySoo was so dominant in the group stages, and they definitely want to continue their train and go into the semifinals. But right now, they're down 0-1.
Yes. Now we have to see WhySoo pulling out the strongest picks. They've used quite a few meta picks already, but there's still plenty of extremely strong heroes coming. Shadow, you're muting us?
Alright everybody, and welcome to the second game of tonight, where we have Team DG, the Geringverdieners, against Team WhySoo. What an insane game we have seen before. This is going to be the second round, and let's see what strategy they're going to be pulling off on Team DG to ensure that they are not going to make, well, not the same mistakes, but how are they going to go around and try and get this win into the pocket? They really need this one here, Anihi.
Yeah, and we talked about it before with Yugi. It's gonna come down to the drafting, I think, because DG showed us a very impressive lineup previously. Irie, Lubu, they already picked up, and they're just gonna, you know, WhySoo should try and use that to their advantage. They know that they've used some of these very impressive heroes already, and now they should be able to do something to pick into that. DG is going to ban out the Irie, of course, and it's also going to be the Kira. WhySoo, on their side, they use the Zip. They're going to ban out the Zip, make sure DG can't use it this round. And just before we move on, for the viewers, yes, we did hear a new voice here, at least for tonight. It's going to be Justin joining me here. Yugi is going to take a quick break here on this game, and we'll bring you the commentaries this match. I'll be your color commentary, and Justin will be the play-by-play. Here's gonna be the first mid pick coming through. For a second, it was gonna be the L'Oreal, and I was kind of excited for that, but it looks like I could go to the Liliana instead.
Oh man, for a second when I saw that that first over, and at the moment, I just felt like, ouch, man. I felt like literally this player's name. It's still going to be the Liliana most likely though, but yeah, let's not give away the fun here. I mean, Liliana is still a fantastic hero to play here. We still can't see really well. Oh, they're going to be locking in Arrow for solo lane for now, it seems.
All right. Actually, I do like the Arrow pick over the Liliana. We did see the Liliana getting played last game. It didn't, well, she did a really good job, but then, you know, Liliana getting shown in the first pick, I think it's not as great, because you know that it's going to be a mid lane and you can try and counter it all you want. But however, here, Arrow getting picked up, he could be placed in the jungle, he could be placed in the Slayer. It gives just a little bit more mystery. And I think in terms of strategy, it does offer a little bit more. Chi and Mina is going to be the answer coming through from WhySoo.
Absolutely, that Mina has the tank. They need to tank damage out. We've seen Mina before, also played on Team WhySoo before, so they are definitely maybe trying to do a team comp they have already played before. At least Mina, we've seen, I don't know who of Team WhySoo exactly played it before, but we know that WhySoo knows how to dominate that Mina. And let's see if they can get the full potential out of this game again, as they will really need to step up their games if they still want to have a shot to take that big trophy back home. Now on the other side, we can see Channel hovered over and Florentino. Interesting.
Florentino and Zenial are going to be the hovers here. Wow, that's going to be quite a scary composition. Taking a look at that, it's already giving me goosebumps. And it's because Arrow and Florentino can both go and just really dive anybody. And Zenial will provide that extra bit of you know, damage reduction and healing with his Angelic Splendor, just coming down in time for Arrow and Florentino to continue their sort of, shall we say, impudence. Going directly into the backline of DG. DG is going to have to be careful here. L'Oreal is going to look like, it looks like it's going to be the answer for WhySoo. Sorry, WhySoo is going to pick up the L'Oreal, maybe. Oh, hold on. Okay, it's going to be L'Oreal, and then it's going to be the Iggy Bang. Yes, L'Oreal for those massive sort of warrior style heroes. I like that pick. I like that pick. It is countering the first three picks of DG.
I really do like, and he hit the bans on both sides are really on point. With the Kira, the Irie, the Iggy, they're really panning out these big potential heroes now. The Lubu following up as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, both teams are doing a fantastic job here on the bans, and both pick scenes. I think that they both have a great team comp so far. And yeah, as you said, it's a very dangerous team comp there for the Florentino, Channel, and Arrow General providing that support, it's gonna be a match that's gonna put me on the tip of my chair, Nihi.
Oh yes, it's going to be a really great match. My only complaint about the ban pick so far was actually just this previous ban coming out from DG, the Lubu. See, WhySoo didn't pick up the Lubu at the very first instance, meaning that they probably don't even want it to think about the Lubu in the first place. Now, does DG really fear Lubu right now? And maybe, but maybe not. You know, if you put the Earl into the top lane, who are you gonna pick up? A Lubu to counter Earl? Well, you could, but you know there might be better choices for you there. And if you put the Florentino into the Slayer lane, who's gonna counter you? Well, I mean, I think again you can have other better choices, no problem. You might even put Chi into the Slayer lane. So Lubu getting banned there, I don't know. It might be a little bit extra, but maybe that's just my own thinking and my misunderstanding in the game or something like that. But currently, that's just how I feel. Maybe a little bit extra. They could have banned out maybe a little bit more of the marksmen over there, because we saw 5 marksmen. Was it 5? No, it was 3 marksmen getting banned out in the previous matchup. Right now, mostly all the meta marksmen are still available for WhySoo to pick up.
Absolutely,
they're indeed gonna pick up Thorn.
And we do see indeed the Thorn here with the absolute damage burst. We've seen it before. Thorn just has to make sure to stay in the back line, not get picked out, and then he will do just absolutely fine. He's going to be the cannon of the team right here. But now Elsu being hovered on. Elsu can also deal a lot of damage from his fair distance, and yeah, this is definitely what Team WhySoo doesn't want right now. They want to keep that Thorn safe, and Mina's only job, together with his teammates, should be keeping that Thorn as safest as possible in the back lane. Now we might potentially see this Joker being picked up. Alistair changing down to Raz, and yet the Joker still does a lot of damage. Also has that high range with this cannon. Has to aim it very well though for it to be effective, and they're gonna be locking in Raz and the Joker for Team DG, and that's going to be their final picks for now, and that puts Team DG on a Errol, Chenio, Florentino, Raz, and Errol. Oh, sorry, and Joker. They were swapping around, and then we've got for Team Y, so we've got Key, Varus, L'Oreal, Thorn, and Mina.
Wow. All right, that Varus pick in the very end there was super duper fast. Interesting for me. I wanted to, if they had taken just a little bit longer in this final pick, I would have thought that maybe they should have gone for somebody who can protect the Thorn a little bit more. Okay, Varus does have a little bit of displacement abilities in her kit to be able to hopefully, protect the Thorn. But yeah, I still classify Varus, especially now she's getting played into the jungle. I still classify her as someone who goes and engages people more than anything. So yeah, Thorn right now, the only person that can really protect Thorn is going to be the Mina. But if the Florentino, yes, exactly, Florentino does take out the Purify as well. Florentino should have no resistance at all, when it comes to trying to take out Thorn. Of course, then it'll just have to become whether Thorn is already fed enough to be able to really protect himself. But again, that's just relying on himself. He has to protect himself, this Thorn.
Then also, I just want to point out this channel where the tower disrupt is. This is going to be dangerous, as he just can fly around the entire map with his ultimate straight into the team fight on the tower dive, potentially taking down that tower with the disrupt. This could indeed be very, very dangerous. And as you said, they really will have to rely on the Mina. Virus could be giving a little support. And then also another interesting thing, as you already said, Errol could be playing jungle, and he is going to be playing jungle for Team DG.
Yes. Wow. I'm a little bit sad. I thought WhySoo was gonna put up some really epic composition here, and that last pick, however, kind of makes me worry for them. But maybe they know something I don't, and they're gonna pull out an insane game here as well. They do have a favorable matchup, the Chi against the Florentino there. We're gonna have to see how their micros work out. It seems like Florentino is not really feeling the pressure right now, though.
Absolutely, yep. And we can see a 3-man rotation by Team WhySoo here already on the channel, and Joker. Is this going to be able to make a difference here? At least maybe burn some damage, a little poke damage. They're not going to be able to. They're doing a perfect job on Team DG here to stay back and stay out of that trouble. They don't want to be dealing with that until the Errol just basically cleans his jungle out, and they just want to secure that this Errol is not going to have any time or any bad time or hard time in the later stage. And yeah, that's basically what I think they're aiming for right now. They have to play it really safe. If this Errol doesn't get enough farm, they might be in a little bit of trouble. Florentino here, also a clue player that they have to keep up. And wow, I'm just looking at Team DG right now. The damage they can output here with the Raz, the Florentino, the Joker, and the Errol is just madness.
Yeah, it looks like it's basically all trouble for Thorn here. We saw also now why Team DG's Florentino is playing very well actually. Very much being the one to rotate first, and now a 5-man group kind of coming down here for the Abyssal Dragon, but they took out the Sentinel Dragon. The Abyssal Dragon is going to have to fall and go towards the side of WhySoo. WhySoo, excellent reaction there. Saw the 5-man rotating towards the top side and said, okay, we're just going to take this Abyssal Dragon. It should be even gold right now, and yes, indeed it is. 5.7k to 5.6k gold for the side of DG and WhySoo.
Yeah, still, even after that Dragon went down, there's not a huge gold lead. I would even say they're a little bit down on gold lead, but that's probably because they didn't clean wave yet or something like that. There's no huge difference yet. So basically no real big deal for Team DG to worry about right now. Is it going equally up? The Chenial making sure that he's near his teammates. May someone jump in there, he can just stun them. Florentino here dealing some damage on the key there on top lane. And now we can see a 4-man rotation there at bottom. Errol is there in the jungle. He doesn't pick up his red buff. He does indeed go back, yeah. They know that it's not going to be a good idea. It's going to be a slight disadvantage there for DG if they went in. And Chenio just constantly trying to keep the vision. Joker trying to snipe out that blue buff. Fails though. And Chenio doing a great job at delivering the team position. Oh man, and here's going to be some amazing damage done by Team WhySoo, but they are eventually not going to be doing much. That Errol is just going to walk away with over half HP and still equal on gold. 3.5 minutes into the game. Florentino doing absolutely great in his rotations as well. And wow, man, I'm just... I just can't wait for this first kill to come in. It can come at any time. We've already seen that this Errol was in a nasty situation. Still could get away though, so everything is going to be happening here.
Yeah, so right now... I'm just looking at this while you were commenting away there. Just looking at how come this Raz and the Earl hasn't really been able to, pardon me for being so blunt, but do much. We got both of those characters. They were looking for some very nice pressure, and they needed.
Oh, the Errol is gonna be caught out. Chenial doing the ulti. Errol on his ulti as well. He's not going to be healing up here on the Chenial. Chenial getting back, securing Errol out. Errol is still there, staying there, probably going to get back. Ooh. Florentino is going to be low as well. And yeah, that's basically going to be forcing that Florentino to go back. I guess Errol would just heal up again with his jungle minions. And now potentially we see DG at least pulling that dragon out to make sure they don't have to contest it at this point.
Yeah, wow, it is just absolutely like... 4 minutes into the game, we're 0-0, but that looks like a pace that WhySoo wants. You know, WhySoo wants that for the L'Oreal, for the Thorn, and I think on the side of DG, you guys are on a time. You know, you got the Raz, you got the Arrow. Sure, you have some late game potential too, but then the Joker really is gonna be looking at, you know, his power spike at level 4. They're not really doing much.
Tower Disruptor's out, Tower Disruptor's gone. Errol is going to be the first one to go down. Oh man, and WhySoo taking the first blood here with the Virus. Amazing job, Channel getting insanely poked here. And yeah, now Florentino has to clean the middle wave. In the meanwhile, there's 2 people to defend the bottom tower. Still 3, 4-man of WhySoo pushing that bottom tower, trying to push that bottom tower down, at least doing some poke damage there to the Channel. And now they're going to be picking up that dragon again. And now finally, some minutes into the game, we can see a slight gold advantage here for Team WhySoo, which is even going to get a little bit bigger now. They got the second dragon of the game.
Yeah, I'm sure this gap is going to start to grow. We see the entire, basically the entire pace of the game in the hands of WhySoo. Excellent work there. The Thorn was staying alive underneath that tower. He pulled back really far, making sure that Raz couldn't do anything to him. The tower disrupt came down. It was no issue at all. And the rest of the team for DG came, for Team WhySoo came along, and they were able to make that kill on the Raz.
Absolutely, then doing some poke damage here on the Thorn, which they really want to do. Joker shooting his bullet out just to the... Oh man, and then WhySoo, his Virus is going to be down, a little bit overextended into the jungle. Florentino already saw it, and they're not going to let him escape. That's going to be a kill, and that's going to put the counter on a 1-1 here. And now Genial, potentially with his tower disrupt back on, could be a tower dive here. Yep, the tower is disrupted. Now they're going to be jumping on this Mina here, which is, of course, insanely strong, able to tank the damage they need. Bottom tower is going to be done, though, but then... Oh, Ananas is going to be eliminated. Liliana, low HP, but is he going to be able to survive? He's in a bad situation. He's trying to trade, at least for the Chenial, but he's not going to do it. Then Raz is going to be going down, and this now makes it a trade. If this Chenial can escape, still 3 people. Chenial jumping back in. Errol going all in is no win for him today. He's going to be going down. Chenial doesn't have enough HP to tank anything. He was pretty much forced to go back. A really, really risky move there by the Errol. He didn't want to take the shot, but he failed.
Wow, both teams really going all in on that one there. The Chi was the first to fall. I think it was in the beginning there, creating a bit of a space for DG, and they sure made use of that one. They went in, they take down the bottom side tower, but then they stayed a little bit too long. L'Oreal showing us a lot of excellent micros there. She was using her blinks fantastically, dodging out a whole bunch of damage. She was on the last sliver of health, but still being able to trade out almost 2 members of DG. Darkslayer is going to be the focus here now. It was almost like, whoa, I didn't even...
Mamma mia, Slayer going down 8 minutes into the game, and this is probably an advantage that DG had to take. They did a really good job taking that dragon up, potentially needing that dragon as well that Slayer down as well with the buff, and trying to potentially release that dragon and push one of the lanes down, as they're now in a slight disadvantage on towers. No, they're still exactly the same. Sorry, that's my bad there. But the Chenial is going to be hooked by me now. Of course, Chenial is tanky enough to...
Yeah, for that one, I think it is going to be, in terms of towers, it's going to be a slight advantage here, actually, for WhySoo, because they did take down that middle ground tower. But before that mid ground tower was able to go down, they did get that Dark Slayer, which was amazing. Ooh,
oh man, Ananas escaping barely. He is going to escape. If it's no kill, it doesn't happen. Then Virus is going to try and do something there at bottom, also getting poked out. Potentially, she's going to be forced to go back, but she's going to be healing up with those minions. And now they've got a dragon mid, no minion wave though, to push that tower down. We see Mina walking in here with a fantastic hook, and that's going to be lead for Team DG. Joker going down, the Arrow going down. Now Chenial tries to jump in, but it's going to be too late. Chenial is going to be going down as well. Oh man, and this puts WhySoo in a nice situation, and now we can indeed see a 2.7 gold lead at minute 9:30. And Disrupt is up on the middle tower. Chenial trying to defend it with his life. GTL here going very low. Chenial is running low on health as well. He's not going to be able to tank it. It's going to go down. They're going to be tanking that tower down. And that's the second tier middle tower. And now WhySoo is looking at a very favorable situation here, Ananas.
Wow, that was an excellent play there by the Mina. She went in.
Oh, they're going to cut him out! No! Oh my god! And Thorn is going to be able to get away with no HP!
Whoa, that would have been devastating if Thor was found out over there. Well, that was an excellent hook there from the Mina. Wow, onto the carries. Nobody able to purify that one out. And the Florentino came in. He was like, okay, well, I have my purify ready. I'm ready to go. But he wasn't there on time. He wasn't there on time to be able to make the first kill onto the Thorn, and the onslaught just continued to happen. Another hook comes down. Ooh, just barely missing. Over there, that's going to be a 2-tower push, and actually countering that Drake. Okay, countering that Drake. That Drake had no lane to push. They had the good idea to go for that middle tower. That was excellent. But then, unfortunately, the team WhySoo had everything to clear those lanes, and they just overstayed themselves. Another action coming through though.
Oh man, so many action coming in. There's Genio with his ult. He's trying to help his teammates out, but it's gonna cost him his life though. Joker in a very bad situation. Oh man, everyone's gonna be able to jump out, but the rest of the team, it just goes insanely down. Joker taken down, Rest taken down, Errol barely off, and now we can see that the control is in the hands of Team WhySoo here, going straight for the Slayers, taking that buff, potentially taking the Dragon. Florentino cleaning the wave out though, so they cannot be pushed in middle. But this is putting DG in a nasty situation. WhySoo just shows their teeth and is like, we're not surrendering. You got one win, but we're going to make it a real challenge for you if you want to pick up this second one.
For sure. This entire game, we've seen WhySoo holding on to the pacing of the match. The only sort of hiccup there was on that bottom side tower, but even then, they were able to at least make it even a sort of head trade there to at least still kind of be there. And then it was the little steal from the Drake there on the Dark Slayer farm from DG that was a little bit like a pebble in the water. But fortunately, their defense was good.
Tower Disruptor's going to be going down as well. Lilian taking down the Raz. Oh man, it's going to be costing Jokers his life as well. Chenny potentially going down, and he does. Florentino dancing with friends in here against Alanas. He's going to be able to kill him. Is he going to be able to get away? Though he should be with his mobility, and he does. But still, wow, what a favorable situation for Team WhySoo here. And wow, man, this is going to put them in a very nasty situation. Middle tower has a minion. They're taking down that tier 3 top tower. Minions walking in there in the middle lane as well. They're going to be finishing off that well. And now it potentially could be the end here. Errol is not going to be able to defend anything as his health bar just gets completely deleted. Florentino doing his best here to try and keep that minions away, but he's not going to be able to do it. Minions walking in, trying to focus the next, and there goes WhySoo taking this second game.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, every single time, in my opinion, it was just WhySoo being able to force the situation onto DG every time without the Florentino there. And we saw the Florentino, he was basically built for this scenario. He was basically built for this composition to be able to just pick out that Thorn by himself. But unfortunately, every time the fight broke up, it was WhySoo picking it at that moment when Florentino was out there, maybe split pushing or maybe trying to clear some sort of off lane, and they picked up the fight. Florentino was found in an awkward position. The rest of the team of DG had to just face the onslaught of Thorn without anybody to restrain him.
Absolutely, absolutely. What an insane game. We see that WhySoo is back as we know them. We could see in the first game that they potentially were a little bit overconfident, lost that game. Both great game by both teams, by the way. But now WhySoo is back, pulling their strategies out. The team composition, we've seen the Mina played before on them, tanking 38% damage. And then we see the Taunt dealing a 23% and a 30%. Yeah, this Raz, as you said before, not doing the damage he should be doing probably in the early game as he was very, very squishy afterwards. And then Florentino trying to do that damage as well. But also the same situation. The only real tank here is Genial, and he wasn't able with the farm he had to tank any damage here.
Yeah, it was that 4 or 5 minute in that early games that just, DG had to do something. DG had to do something. It was it should have been the arrow. It should have been the Raz jumping into the backline and making the life miserable for Thorn or even the L'Oreal. But then DG just didn't do that. DG wasn't able to do that because the rotation was so tight coming out from WhySoo. Excellent work there. WhySoo also didn't really waste any other meta picks here. They didn't stack up on Lubu. They didn't stack up on too many of the meta picks. They still have very nice hero pool left for them into the future games.
Absolutely, what an insane game, Manihi, where we see Team WhySoo. As you said, DG had to risk it for the biscuit, but WhySoo just had the Cookie Monster taking all the cookies back home.
Oh yes. It's going to be a fun little next game here. Whether or not DG has more in their hero pool to show us, it does feel it does feel like in the first game they came out really confident, but then in the second game you saw that Zenio pick, right? You saw the Zenio pick and you saw the Arrow pick, and it seemed to me that every time Arrow was jumping into the air trying to save himself or trying to disengage from a fight or something, the Zenio came in with the Angelic Splendor, and they didn't time it out very well. So then every single time, the heal didn't come through.
Absolutely. Yeah, what a fantastic game. And this just makes me feel that they're gonna put all of their chips all in right now on this last match, which is going to be deciding who's going to be true facing that AMK team afterwards.
I think they're gonna hold on that chips because it's gonna be a best of 5. It's gonna be a best of 5, and if they're 1-1, I think one more game before that very, very conclusive final match.
All right, yeah, I see where you're going right now. So, would you think that they potentially will be trying to save their ultimate hero pool for that deciding game here, Anihi?
For DG, I don't think they will, because for DG they need to show WhySoo that they're not pushovers, and they are still that first game kind of confident team. And for WhySoo, they're just gonna have to continue what they do best, because they seem like they understand this game so well. They understand their hero pool very good, right? So WhySoo is just probably going to continue as is. It's going to be normal business for them. It's going to be left onto the side of DG to really decide how many of those confident heroes are going to show up over here, and whether or not they really need this game to come back and tell WhySoo that they're meaning business, and that they shouldn't be someone that WhySoo just looks down upon.
Absolutely, and now continuing on to the first bans here, we can see a pretty similar reaction here, banning out for team WhySoo, the Zip and the Key, and then for team DG we've got an Ari and Kira ban. I mean, both fantastic bans, as they don't want to be dealing with neither of them. And while we are waiting for the first pick here, let's just thank our sponsors once again, Arena of Valor, Teamy Studios, and Trovo. Thank you all so much for this amazing $150 US dollars in cash. And I think it's about how many vouchers, Anihi?
I think it was 100,000 vouchers.
100,000. Oh man, this is just such a big number here. And we
imagine how many of those Liliana lucky draws you can do, huh?
Oh yes, oh man, and we're gonna be looking GTL locking in on the Errol on the first pick, with the jungle talent for now could be potentially swapping in later on, as you said in the previous match, you can play any position. We see the Hayate picked up here straight away for Team DG. As you already said, Anihi, they are gonna have to put out all their big fists and all the big power to show WhySoo that in no means they are gonna be giving away that third game.
Yeah, it's gonna be up to them, because for DG, they do have to plan out for that final game too. But this game is just about trying to bring back their morale and trying to bring back their confidence. So maybe 1 or 2 confident picks here, and then letting them take the pace of the game, just to set a precedence, just to say that, hey, we're back in this, and then they do still have to think about the third game. So I wouldn't say put all their chips in. It's going to be like up to DG to make that balance, make that call to say how many of those definitely confident heroes they want to put up.
Absolutely, and now for the second hero locked in, we see the Virus on Feed for You on Team DG. Amazing pick as well. We can see quite a lot of damage already. I'm really excited to see who Team WhySoo is going to be picking up now, as they already picked their star hero, to say it in some way, the Mina. They play Mina absolutely insane in that, of course, not banned out. They're going to probably take advantage of that, blocking in that Annette. And then the Vera for the potential CC and damage outburst.
Right, yes. WhySoo did play out the Mina, I think it was last game, right? We just saw, I think if I don't remember incorrectly, I didn't write it down, so I can't see the history here. But yeah, the Mina getting played out last game, and this time it's going to be the Annette. We've seen Annette being played out in their skirmishes a couple of times. I think this should be a very nice composition coming out for WhySoo once again.
yeah, following up, we see the Liliana locked in for Team DG, and now they're going to continue on banning. Neither of, Team WhySoo still doesn't have the ADCs. They probably want to ban out the ADCs that we don't want to be playing against Errol. They don't know yet because there is still no clear solo laner if Errol is going to be taking the solo position or the jungle. Banning out the Violet, fantastic ban as we could have probably expected here, trying to just ban
Go
out
into the
those
Hayate.
ADCs.
Yeah. So for DG, they ban out the Violet. So now they're gonna have to think up another strategy to go into the Hayate. For the side of WhySoo, they're gonna ban out. Well, they have the jungle side, and they have maybe the Slayer. They don't know because Varus could really go into either positions. They could also ban out the support side, whether or not there's a support that they really fear here. Maybe a roaming support, someone to go with the Liliana and wreak havoc into some of these lanes here, like a Lumber or something like that. But again, not really priority. They're gonna ban out a Yena first.
Absolutely, and still for both sides, we can't really yet see a very, very tanky support here. I mean, Annette is fantastic, but I don't know if Annette is going to be able to tank the damage outburst that potentially Team DG is looking to deal here.
What I think WhySoo might be up to? WhySoo might be up to trying to ban out heroes that potentially have impact in the early game. You see Yena there being banned out, and then now also the Mina getting banned out as well. They both have skills that can impact a lot in the early game. Taking a look here over onto DG, and also to understand why this might be the case, Hayate and Liliana, even though, yes, indeed, just like you said, they have incredible damage potential, but they really require those items to come out before they can do that. They're late game heroes. Meanwhile, you got the Earl and the Vera, both heroes which can really do a lot in terms of their early game. Earl, of course, we know that even at his second skill, after his second level, he could do a whole ton. And then Vera, of course, after she gets her ultimate, she could just basically one-shot almost anybody with a, take out half HP of anybody that she meets, right? So very early game heavy here for WhySoo, and for the side of DG, they're kind of in terms of that, so they're kind of more late game. So if WhySoo just bans out more early game heroes here, maybe they can take that advantage and snowball it.
Absolutely, and now we can slowly see that Team DG is already looking in Tara, very, very tanky hero, as they don't probably want to make the same mistake as before, where they literally have no heroes to protect those heroes that have to do the damage, and that Tara is going to be in charge of taking this game into the late game for Team DG here. So yeah, hopefully they're going to be able to do it, but then we have the Superman locked in for WhySoo. We've seen them play Superman before. They go behind the towers, below the towers. Superman is just everywhere. You can expect him at every time, which makes it pretty fearful here for Team DG as well to start diving, because they never know if they don't have the information on the Superman. They never know if he's just going to jump in out of nowhere. And then Laville as well locked in with a fantastic damage output. And yeah, still a little bit worried here about Team WhySoo's tank.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, not a whole lot of tanking for WhySoo. However, I think they're gonna go, and they have just kind of shown their cards in their strategy is they're gonna just go ahead and be aggressive. And on the side of DG, then if that's the case, they should probably go for somebody that can really protect and go mitigate some of the aggression coming through from WhySoo. Instead, they're gonna pick up an Amelie here, which for me doesn't offer as much. Like, they already went for the Tara, which was like a super tank, like you were saying, but not a whole lot of maybe controls there, not a whole lot of ability to displace or to repel any attacks. She's just there to tank, right? And Amelie as well, she does have that a little bit of push. She's able to use her ultimate to dodge out a lot of damage, but the prized sort of targets on DG is not going to be Amelie. It's not going to be Tara. the skills aren't going to be used on them at all, right? So the skills are going to be used on Hayate. Once Hayate falls, once Liliana falls, it's going to be open season for Superman to just do whatever he wants. It's going to be open season for Laville to put in all the damage that he wants. So right now, a little bit worried for DG. I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. And this concludes the pick ban phase. On Team Y, so we have got Annette, Vera, Superman, Laville, and Errol. And then for Team DG, we've got the Emily locked in, Liliana, Hayate, Veras, and the Tara.
All right, both teams are gonna go and put 2-man, 3-man for Team WhySoo here into the middle. Spot out everybody here. It's gonna be a 3-man rotation coming through from DG, Hayate, and that Liliana is going to be sharing a lot of these lanes here. Let's hope they can keep that one up because they're gonna need all the gold they can have. They're gonna go in for a nice little jungle steal here. I like that move. They're trying to just make up for all the gold that they can. However, for Hayate though, however, he's gonna have to drop out one little minion here, slightly disadvantaged.
Yeah, we can see Superman already walking in as well, doing some poke damage there as we would like to see him. He's kinda trying to delete a little bit on this Tara's HP bar just to make sure that if a team fight comes, Tara is not going to be the one able to tank insane damage. Then now we've got an invade from Team Y, so here they're going to be pretty much forced after that minion loss to trade it up.
Yes.
Hayate is going to be slowly low. He's going to do a great job on getting back. Tara getting a crit hit there as well, getting very low. And now an ambush is going to be set up here by Team DG, but they don't rotate the way they would like them to do. Very smart gameplay by Team WhySoo. Errol straight going back to the jungle to farm and make sure that he has the gold he needs to eventually drop into those team fights. And of course, that Superman just flying around. There is just no
100 points. 100 points for that rotation. That that decision to just invade in. Nobody had level 4, but still, we know, we talked about that early game advantage that Arrow provides, the early game advantage that also the Vera has, and they just went in and took that blue buff like it was their own. And then now Arrow goes back to pick up that red buff, and he has one more buff coming up. Very, very awesome for Arrow. 1.1k gold he has right now, and Laville also doing really well. 1.3k gold. Oh, slight bit of action though.
Oh man, Annette is going to be throwing his ult down there. Feed for you, potentially going down. He's going to be drowning the first blood. Errol on Liliana, and now we can still see some action here. Errol jumping on that Tara. Tara is incredibly low. Tara's going to be going down. The one that has to make the sacrifice for WhySoo is going to be that Superman. Errol now in some big trouble, and that's going to put the counter on a 2-2, and that barely going back. Oh no! And then in the end, oh man, that Hayate is going to be taken down by the Vera.
Nice.
And this gives them the advantage they need, but they're not going to leave it on that. Vera there, very, very low. Liliana trying to jump in to finish off the job. Laville doing a great job there to stop him though. Oh man, putting the counter on 3-2. This is interesting. Also able to point out, as we haven't seen before in the games where it was going up a little bit equally on gold. Now 1k gold lead for Team WhySoo, 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, so that fight there all started out with a double trouble landing onto the Liliana, and then everybody jumping in on that. The fight broke out centered around that. However, Laville didn't even wanted to join that fight, actually. So I think Team WhySoo kind of took it a little bit too late. Oh, another double trouble lands.
And Liliana is going to be taken down there by the Superman. As I said, you never know when he's going to be jumping in, and he does at the perfect timing. Superman now roaming around and looking for his next spray. He's not going to be able to do it in this moment, though. He's going to save it for a different moment.
I like this fight much more than the last fight, because the last fight they should have just taken Liliana and then just backed out because Laville didn't want to fight.
Oh man, and Tara's gonna be taken down. maybe potentially why
But-
not use that tower disrupt
Exactly.
if you have it? You're gonna go down
Yeah.
anyways. Try and deal some additional damage, you know?
I think that's the strategy here that WhySoo should have been doing for the last fight. They should just really pick off 1 or 2 characters like you saw there, 1 or 2 heroes, and then just back off and try to snowball that lead a little bit. Because sure, they have an incredible early game. Yeah, but then they shouldn't make it an even
Another
trade.
team fight is going to come up, and the virus is going to be going down. Now we've got Emily struggling, chased by the Superman. Errol incredibly low. He should probably going to get back, but of course,
Beautiful.
Superman has the speed to finish him off. Also, still full HP in case that they want to go through, like we see now on this Liliana suffering really bad. Superman is forced to go back though, as Liliana does a great job getting back, and here Laville in the meanwhile, while all that action and distraction going on there in the middle lane, he takes the first bottom tower away.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. They were able to catch people out on the rotation, continuing to put a lot of pressure into the team, into Team DG. Now, Team WhySoo, though, however, taking a look at the item builds, nobody is building any Tomb of the Reaper or anything. Oh my god, that's the 3rd double trouble that lands onto this Liliana. Ooh, I think this Laville has an agreement with this Liliana, has a date with this Liliana or something. Every single double trouble is gonna land.
Absolutely, they're really focusing on that Liliana because they know that this Liliana can do insane damage in the early stage already, but even more in the later game. And as we said, WhySoo had to take it here, risk it for the early game, and they did. And now an insane team fight is coming in. Once again, Errol insanely down, taken down by that Hayati. Still, that Annette is going to be in some trouble right now. They're not going to be risking diving any towers for that Annette, which is a fantastic decision there. Now the Superman coming out of the bush. That tower is in a very bad situation, going low. Oh man, and Tara's going to be able to escape, just jumping down to that wall, getting back, and not gifting any free kills out. They, at this point, can also not permit it. If they continue to give it out, then here's Superman diving the tower. Liliana, once again, is being the main target here. Then Virus does jump in, though, getting on that Laville down. Now, she... oh, man. Virus trying to get that Annette down, and now the tower disrupt comes out insanely, but pretty much forcing that Virus to get back.
Yeah, slightly late on that tower disrupt, I think. Oh, actually, no, never mind, sorry. I actually want to talk mainly about the Curse of Death and the Tomb of the Reaper not really coming out early enough, because, you know, they wanted to go for that insane burst potential, but then right now they're gonna have to maybe focus slightly a little bit on the farming to get out those 2 damage heal reduction items for that Varus, for that Tara.
Absolutely, tower disrupt to the top, and now Annette is the only one there together with Errol. They are doing some damage though, then Annette is going to be targeted. Errol is now the main target on Team WhySoo. But wow, what a counter attack. They're going to try and get that Emily down. Superman is not going to be able to jump in. This is not going to be a kill. Emily is going to be able to get back. And this is going to be no kill, but still what an insane team fight with insane potential. And what a great decision WhySoo is delivering here, as they make the correct decision whether to dive or not dive. Now disrupted the middle tower. Tara's already low HP. The potential is there to get him down. Errol's still there, of course. She's going to have the survivability. But now we see the Liliana coming in. And the reason why they want to take him out, Liliana takes down... oh man, there's a net. And we see on Team DG... we see the Incredible Tara going down. They're all very, very low HP. The next one to be going down is going to be that Emily. Oh man, Hayati on the way back trying to get some farm there. He's not going to be risking it as he should. And now Virus is forced back as well, putting the counter on a 10-6. 8 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. Also visible a 3K gold lead here for Team WhySoo.
Alright, and we see the Curse of Death and Tomb of the Reaper finally getting built. There's gonna be onto the Annette and the Earl to carry that. Okay, and so we should see some changes to the fights now. Probably Team WhySoo is going to be able to just chew through those frontliners of DG much easier now. There were so many moments that the Hayate was down to 1 sliver of health in that little back and forth over there. Excellent job to the Hayate for staying alive. It was just so frustrating, I'm sure, for Team WhySoo, because they almost took him down so many times.
Yeah, that Hayati definitely does need to stay alive here for the potential of winning a team fight. As we've seen before, WhySoo 100% aggressivity. They're not giving away any information. They're not giving away any space on the map. They make sure that they counter everything. Then we've got Errol here on his ulti, jumping on the Tara. An insane team fight coming in. With Tara going to be able to escape. Hayati doing his best there on the ultimate. Not going to be able to take a kill. It is going to cost him his own life though. Now we've got Errol there against the Liliana. Liliana has to go down here and does. And they're not finished yet. They're going to be taking down as well. Oh man, that Virus. And now, oh man, we see Errol here very, very low. Is at least Emily going to be able to trade that kill? She's trying with the best of his life. But of course against both the Superman and the Vera, it's going to be very difficult.
Wow, that was an excellent fight over there. As you can see, even though no skills was spent to be able to, knock out the Hayate's Kunai Blitz, however, they did make sure that the rest of Team DG could not follow up with Hayate, and the Hayate just fell first. The rest of the Team DG then followed up, but then it was all too late because Superman was here and he was there to basically stop the virus from being able to engage, again creating a scenario where the Team DG could not group up and make sure that they can fight as a team, and there was the Vera just to pick them off one at a time.
Also, to mention how 4K gold lead here for Team Y, so that means that they do have the advantage on the gold they need to win those team fights. Yeah, we've got Emily there at bottom trying to do some damage to the tower. She does successfully. Superman is there to defend us with his life, though. They're going to be doing it. We see a little ambush potentially being set up here by Team DG, and they do successfully. That Laville just walks into the team fight, and this could be deadly. Hayati taking out the Annette, and they're not done. Errol is trying to ult out. Tara's not going to try and not leave him escape. Tower disrupted, and that Errol is going down, and what a fantastic response there by Team DG. We are not done yet. Even the gold lead that WhySoo had, we're not going to give this game away. We see how tanky the Superman is. Vera does the insane damage they need to do. The minion is still alive. Is going to be taken down by the Vera, though. That leads the potential of that tier 3 tower. The leader, though. And now we can see on Slayer that Team DG is taking that advantage with the buff, with the dragon. And this is turning it around. As we were speaking of a 4K gold lead, now we're just back to 2K gold lead here.
An excellent ambush. We saw, it was the same strategy with Superman being able to push down that bottom lane, split pushing, and then the rest of the 4 members trying to take control of the top side. But wow, DG over there, such a scheming.
Another ambush coming in, and they're gonna try and take down that Errol. Errol is not gonna try and get back, but he does do some damage there to the Liliana. Errol is going to be able to get back there on time. There's not
too much that is going to happen over there. Errol does have his ability to, his ultimate to be able to get out, but now they lose that ability to engage into a fight.
Oh man, and that Laville is so squishy. Oh my god, Tara just doing the perfect job. The tower disrupt is there. Virus is very, very low. Cannot be targeted though. Is she going to be able to get away? She's not. Minions are there to push that tier 3 middle tower as well. Superman doing his best to try and get that minion out so they can at least protect that tower. Superman barely walking away with HP. Liliana very low, but wow, the next one to go down is... Oh man, I've got no words for this. I've got no words for this, man.
DG just absolutely gave WhySoo a lesson about ambushes. In those final moments, in that epic turnaround, we saw that 4K gold lead. We were all rooting for WhySoo. Thought they had it in the bag, but then Don't Be Salty just gets picked off 2 times in a row early on in the team fights. It was just absolute there was just no way that Team WhySoo was gonna win those team fights anymore, and then everything just fell apart. Wow, those ambushes were so good. They were in the positions where you did not expect them to be. I mean, the second ambush, I think, it was on the side of Arrow there. Arrow shouldn't have been just walking up like that. But he does have his ultimate. He could get away, so that was okay. Team WhySoo just needed to sort of just say, okay, it's Arrow. Arrow can get out by himself. We don't need to go up there and force this fight. And let's just concentrate on clearing out and defending this Drake. So the second time, I can see WhySoo perhaps made some mistakes there. But the first ambush was so good. Don't be salty. He detoured to make sure that the Annette and the Arrow was able to get the vision first before he walked into any places that was supposed to be dangerous. But then there was DG hiding into that blue side bush, so unexpected, takes out Don't Be Salty right away, and perhaps the morale just tipped for WhySoo. 2-1 is gonna be the score right now. DG just needs one more game.
Absolutely, what a fantastic game. I will have to switch out here potentially with Yugi PK. Can't wait to sit on my chair and see what's going to happen next here, guys.
All right, well, thank you so much, Justin. We're gonna be entering then the fourth game in this best of 5 very soon.
Hey, Annie.
Hello, Yugi. I don't know if we're on air or off air right now.
Which,
Still on air. Okay, cool.
oh, okay. That last game was something else. It was ambushes.
Oh yeah. Wow, I really thought WhySoo had it. I really thought WhySoo had it in the bag. The way that they used the arrow in the early game was exactly how I imagined. I imagined that they're gonna be aggressive. I imagined they're gonna also pair it up with the Vera. They did everything exactly to script, and then DG though with the ambushes came in, turned that around.
Yes, one more thing we have to point out though is the ADC from WhySoo has been called out the first game and the last game quite a lot.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize about the first game, but
He was playing John. So many times.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So they perhaps need to communicate a little bit more in terms of where the hot spots are, and maybe just to help out their ADC a little bit more in terms of the positioning. That is probably an issue on the communication, and the whole team can work towards a better result, I suppose.
Yes, and the second thing I have to point out right here is the red side is a huge advantage in this BO5 because you can counterpick here.
Well, I guess because there are so many heroes that you want to play. And so if you have the blue side, you can pick up some of those heroes and form your strategies around that. Interestingly, we haven't seen Azata getting picked up here at all, and WhySoo still has Lubu. So if WhySoo had that blue side last game, they could have picked into something into Lubu or something like that. They chose the arrow, and they executed perfectly. So it wasn't a problem in their composition. I think it was just merely a problem of their execution in the late game there.
Yes, but the thing with Arrow is we saw the Varus get picked straight away when they saw the Arrow. Varus is a very good counter to both Lubu and Arrow when it comes to jungles.
I like the Varus into the Lubu. I'm not too sure, and maybe this is just my own inexperience. Between the two player interactions there, Varus and Arrow. What does that interaction look like?
Oh, it's simple because basically when Varus gets into his passive, I don't remember the name, Bloody Kiss, if I'm correct?
Yeah, Bloody Kiss.
Arrow won't but just doesn't stun her. And the whole stun of Arrow is the whole gimmick of the Bone Shaver. His healing's nice, but when everyone's building anti-heal, it's stun that really matters, and that Varus out counters that.
I see. I understand now. You're saying that the Varus was able to use the Bone, can use the Bloody Kiss, and in the right times. I see.
Yes, plus Varus out sustains the Arrow heavily because of his kiting abilities.
Interesting. For me, I still think the Varus and the Arrow is going to be a 50-50. because I believe that a well played arrow can see those bloody kisses. You can see those little the Varus passive getting stacked up every time, and if you just make sure you use your Bone Shaver at the right timing, it should be fine. Of course, in a team fight, that is so hard to do. In a team fight, you kind of just want to use those Bone Shavers to whenever possible to just try and sustain and keep alive. But at least in a one-on-one situation, I think a well played Earl versus a Varus, they could be 50-50.
Yes, but at that point we knew the arrow was probably going to be the jungler there.
Yes. All right, we're probably going to be moving into our next game very soon. Just going through with some ban picks. Again, it's a global ban pick here tonight. Best of 5, DG on your on your left hand side, and WhySoo on your right hand side. Here is game number 4. DG up 1. It is 2-1 the score. And we're in with the bans. Hayate and Zip are going to be the first to go.
Yes, and one more thing we have to point out here is WhySoo has their back against the wall now.
I think it's going to be Akira. Yes, indeed, it's going to be Akira. We saw the difference in the DG ban picks here. DG has always banned out the Akira first, and this time they left it open because they wanted it for themselves.
Yes,
we should have seen that from a mile coming.
And I'm expecting Lubu jungle here, coming out from Team WhySoo.
It is open for them.
Then, or maybe Volca. They have to have somewhat a tanky jungler here because they have to deal with this Kira. God, it's already been played, and so is Arrow. So the only one left are probably Volca here, which is quite good, but can sometimes suffer and can be really hard countered by the Aram here. So Volca.
Yeah, I think a little bit early on the Volkoth pick. To be honest, I think maybe they have other choices for the jungle. I mean, in terms of Kira, if they just want to go for tanky, you have Zephyrs as well, and maybe you could take a look at what other kind of carriers are going to come out. It's going to be the Kira already, and you can pick into that, I suppose. But then right now, Volkoth getting picked up right away, and it's also going to be the Yenna. I don't know if the Yenna can really do too much against the Kira. I suppose that damage reduction on the Yenna's ultimate could help.
Yes, well, it's just Kira is one of those heroes you can't let her snowball. If she snowballs in your face, you have no answers. And if Kilgraph gets picked up here,
but nobody can really stop that Kilgraph. They've already shown their Volkoth. They've already shown the Yenna. They didn't put Yenna into the jungle, so the Yenna isn't gonna be as early games. She's not gonna have as much impact unless she can get out of her lane really quickly and maybe into the jungle or something like that to snowball. But then they have Volkoth, which is already picking up that punish item, so I think it's gonna be Volkoth in the jungle.
Well, I'm not sure yet because they can still swap heroes.
They could swap and then put Volkoth into the top lane. But then Volkoth, I don't think he has enough lane clear really to go against that Kilgraph.
Well, no hero can go against that Kilgraph in this meta, or either way. Except for Antino, no other hero can go against a Kilgraph.
I think maybe a Lubu can, and they do still have the Lubu.
Lubu and Kilgraph is a true 50-50 split.
Yeah, but as long as you can stop the Kilgraph, that's all we're after, right? You just want to stop that split push, and maybe even like a Superman to just clear those lanes and run away. That's fine. I would think anyway.
The problem is Kilgraph basically means there's no point in picking a tank from Team WhySoo here as well. Since if Kilgraph chooses to go for team fights instead of split pushes, he is massively strong in the team fights as well.
For sure. Yeah. Wow. Difficult one here for WhySoo. Difficult one here because they locked in on their Slayer / jungler already, and now they're left with a question.
No, I'm actually hoping they swap it around completely and run a Volcav support.
Okay. Okay, we've seen that in some of the competitive gameplays there in the pro leagues. You know what? Yeah, I like that. I like that move. Put
And
Kogoth
that-
into the support. Put Yenna into the jungle.
Or even get a true assassin jungler.
Or get
Like,
a true assassin jungler.
A Nakrov to go basically to make it a contest of skill between Nakrov and Kira.
Right, right. Or you can even put in a Florentino hero. How about that? A Florentino who can maybe, like you said, deal with the Kilgroth sometime soon. And then also Florentino can jump into the jungle and deal with this Kira. You know, put your eggs into trying to shut down this Kira. And Kira has nothing that you could do against the Florentino, really, at least in the early game.
Yes, but
I like that.
I'm worried about the ADCs coming out from both teams here.
Right, okay. But, I mean, you know, for now, they have a bigger problem with the Kilgroth. Because the game is going to be over if you don't shut down this crazy little combo coming out from DG.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If
hold on.
Annette-
Annette and Lindis. Wow.
Malok mid. Then
Matlock mid. Okay, I think they should go. Actually, they could go with it, Landor.
If
They could.
they have to go with a late game ADC here. Because if
Okay.
Kilgraf and Kira fails, you need a late game ADC to try and pull it back. Otherwise, they're just putting all their bag.
Okay, so not Valheim, not Valheim. Maybe go back to the Lindis. Go back
No,
to
I'm
the
looking
Lindis.
for Elsu.
Elsu?
Yes, since Elsu actually hard counters the pellet here.
Okay, Slims actually is okay too. That Slim Summer is okay. Well, because also you have the Iggy though, and you know when he snipes, Iggy should just be able to poke him out easy.
Time gets picked up.
Oh no. Okay, Valheim.
It's Oh, they're going hard into the early game. They just want to end this.
Okay, I think you know what. Just making a slight prediction here. It's gonna be Madlock, Annette, Valheim, Kira. It's just putting all their eggs into those four, and then it's gonna be Kilgroth trying to pick up the late game. And in fact, I guess they're eyeing over on the side of WhySoo. They're saying that okay, you're not gonna pick up anybody who can deal with me in the Kilgroth. They've probably already thought that it's gonna be Yenna, it's gonna be Volkoth in the Slayer lane, and so they said, okay, put me Kilgroth into the Slayer lane, and I'll carry your late game.
Yes. One more thing though, it's this Arum pick kind of ruins the Kilgraph so slightly in teamfight.
Okay, yeah, sure, but then Kilgroth is not gonna come for the team fights.
Well, that means they have to finish it quick. With
10
having
seconds
doubts here.
remaining.
I think the Kilgroth shouldn't come for the team fights because right now, who's gonna stop him on a split push?
Yeah, that's gotta be.
Right? They put Volkoth over there, and they're like, okay, well, you just put your juggler to my Slayer lane, then. You know your other 4 men are gonna die because I have my full force. I have my main force, you know, there. I have my jungler there. I have Kira there. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be really, really interesting. This is
I wanna
gonna
see
be
this
really
play out.
interesting. Yeah, how does this play out? Such an interesting game. It's gonna be even from the ban picks, it was an intellectual game to start with, and now we're into the actual game where the micros are gonna come in. We're gonna have to see how the execution comes through. Wow, I'm really excited for this one, Yugi.
Yes, this game looks interesting. I'm afraid for the Malok here, dealing with the Iggy. He's gonna get poked heavily.
Oh yeah, the Matlock shouldn't be able to do too much here against the Iggy. Maybe using his shield, he might be able to dodge out some of that damage. The good thing is that Matlock was able to clear those lanes pretty fast, but pretty passive, I guess.
Yeah, he still lost 1,000 points of his health there, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna have to see how this one pans out here. I think the action is gonna come once some of these characters hit ability like level 4, especially maybe waiting for the Kira. And then we should be able to see some action here. A little bit of poke. Don't be salty. Rolls forward the tactical roll, getting a nice shot onto the Valheim. But I always think that if you roll into a Valheim as a Violet, you're gonna actually get out traded instead. And indeed, it happens one more time here for us. Kira now arriving into the bottom side here. It's gonna be GTL though, getting a big engage onto the Annette. She's still going forward with that ultimate. Going forward now. They're gonna take one and just back out. Malok was able to just tank things up there. It's gonna be still relatively healthy.
Yes, but here's the Kira coming up to level 4. He might try and pick up the Spirit Sentinel and the Yina.
To see what they do is gonna be a 4-man on the top side here for DG. They're gonna spend 4 people here taking out the Spirit Sentinel. GTL is gonna get a head start onto that red buff of his, and the Valheim will take out the middle lane, getting a little bit extra gold for himself. That is no problem. Malok just needs to get a little bit more tanky here. That's his job, to get that shock down onto the multiple enemies here. So he doesn't need that as much gold as normal mid laners.
Well, Malok actually does a lot of true damage now since the new patch.
Oh yes, of course.
So
yes.
I would think Malok still wants to get that gold.
But I think in this composition, he's going to be a frontline tank. Oh, Abyssal Dragon now taken down. Also for the side of WhySoo. Excellent work. The rotation on the jungle is much faster. For some reason.
Oh, it's just because of the way they have helping out just a little bit.
Yeah, just their room. They're being able to help out. Excellent for them. And that's going to open up the map a little bit. But we're going to have to see, because the strategy here, just reminding everybody, DG probably looking for a split push on that Kilgroth. They've been spending their time on their own there. Oh, but Velkoth is going to head his way up there. Kilgroth is a little bit low. Does he know GTL is here? I think he does. Just goes for the recall.
Yes. He's playing really safe. No, he comes back to clear that way.
Oh, here we go. The shot comes down onto 2 members. And Don't Be Salty is caught out right in there. Valheim is going to come in and finish the job. However, the Kira is going to fall out at the front over there as well. Probably taking a little bit too much damage. Valheim does fall as well. Is the Iggy dealing a whole bunch of damage in the back over there. And oh no, everybody falls. Malok as well to fall. GTL doesn't give up the chase on Meaty. Meaty, I think they know him. He's in here. Yep, there's the little ability there. It could be an ultimate coming down from Iggy to finish this off, but oh, okay, not even the ultimate is necessary. Wow, that's going to be a 4-for-1 trade. It looked to be an excellent tower dive to begin with, but then
they stay too long under the towers.
WhySoo turned it around. Basically,
yes. Yeah, they basically took almost 6 tower shots in total, with 2 each. That's good. It's way too much damage at the level 6 mark here.
Yes, indeed. 10 seconds onto the Abyssal Dragon. Spirit Sentinel is up here as well. We got the mid and the Slayer laner looking like they want to take the Sentinel. I think it's going to be a trade here, as Team DG goes for the Sentinel and WhySoo getting that information, and they're going to burst down this Abyssal Dragon, no problem. Gold lead here, 12k versus 10k. Oh, they're going to come right into the red buff now to try and invade this.
Yes, and we could see as we predicted, the Malok's gonna have a lot of issue mid here. Kilcraft though, probably trying to proxy there, but get pulled out.
Oh, here's another big engage coming down from the bottom tower there. They pulled the Volkoth up to the top side, distracted him for a little bit, and the Violet's now open season for the Kira, Hangy's lover here. Just opening it up for her to jump in and take out the Violet.
Yes, I would like to see, is this an AP or AD Valheim here though? It's probably going to be a AD Valheim. which is stronger early game.
Yes, exactly. Now 4 members of the team DG is gonna come over to the top side. They should have all the opportunity to take down this tower. Now Iggy is gonna come in. He's gonna lead with the ultimate. The Annette uses the Hurricane Wall to just block out everybody. Arum not able to engage. Team WhySoo forced to back. That's gonna be 1 tower for free going over to DG.
Yes. And one more thing though is we've seen the kill graph now being freed out the first tower here, which means after he clears his wave, he can rotate first.
Oh yes, but I don't know if he's gonna do that because he wants that split push and just distract Team WhySoo. The tower disrupt here to just hold on until the rest of the team comes over. There's an engage from GTL. His ability to land onto the Kira, but everybody's gonna stay safe as Kilgroth just continues to keep that Yena distracted and pushing that lane.
Kilgroth late games plays slightly like an ADC with his damage over time, so I'm not surprised.
Oh, Malak forced to shock away, and then here is Iggy's ultimate finding him. Oh no, caught out here. Caught out he was. Oh, slightly blocked out on the action here, but it is going to be the Violet. Violet dealing a whole bunch of pokes, and then it is going to be the Iggy stunning out the Valheim and then taking him away. Here's another find onto the Kilgroth. It's going to be an excellent flicker into under the tower and taking away that Kilgroth. Uh-oh. DG's strategy kind of falling apart with that Malok falling first. Everybody having to rotate to try and defend the different kind of lanes. It was as you predicted, Yugi. Malok having a little bit of trouble here in the mid lane. He's not being able to rotate. Every time he misses the train with the Annette, it's left in a bit of a trouble.
Yes, that's why you don't actually see Malok in competitive in mid anymore. Usually now it's if you want to play warrior in mid, it's usually Varus or Wonder Woman.
GTL is gonna just come into this blue buff side again without that middle pressure. He can do whatever he wants. However, GTL gets out of his horse, and it's gonna be the Hurricane Wall to just break up the fight. The focus is gonna be on the lane, and they're gonna take it out. No problem, protecting their mid lane tower.
Yes. And we can see that the Yena here, if Kilgroth just decides to stay in this lane, Yena has to always stay. It's always going to be a 4v4.
Oh, yes. Darkslayer, however, getting taken down real fast. Almost right under the noses of Team DG. Team DG.
Yes. We could see that the gold on the Kira here is quite lacking. Kira's only good at snowballing and split pushing though. We could
unfortunately,
we could see a double pivot split push here by Kira and Kilgroth.
That would be nice. That would be nice, but they're gonna have to be able to hold on as the shockwave is gonna come down from Feed for You. Malok does survive. But
And
wow,
there's
so much damage coming through. Another ultimate from Iggy finds the mark, and Valheim is going to have to fall. The double split push probably won't be able to happen, as now the gold lead does come to a respectable 4K. It's going to be the Kilgroth making sure that he's doing his split push. Don't be salty now, caught out a little bit, but Kilgroth doesn't have any way of just keeping her in place. Doesn't have the red buff, doesn't have the Hilga's Edge or anything like that.
Yes, well, he opted to go Sugar of the Lost, if I'm correct, so I'm not surprised there.
Here's now the Drake. Drake bringing into this lane. However, they should be able to clear this final cannon.
Well, what they clear up, though, they have to be really careful when they're trying to clear.
Yeah, right now, nobody can really clear on the side of DG. Their strategy kind of fell apart. As now a Hurricane Wall comes through just to try and stun out some of those minion waves and get some space for them to create to be able to clear this lane. Another ultimate comes down from Iggy. poking everyone down to half health. That's going to create a lot of space for them to take down this bottom tower.
At this point, the Team DG has to fight out now.
Oh, here's the shockwave coming through, but it doesn't land on anybody. And here's Milk Tea getting poked down really far by this Yena, and the fight has now broken into two sides. And the front two tanks, that was going to be the Malok and the Kilgroth. They're going to fall down. And oh no, Valheim now venturing a little bit too far. It's going to be an easy kill for everybody else on the side of WhySoo. And now the lane comes through, and I think this is going to be a GG game over, as there's 2 minion waves and just an Annette left to defend this one. Oh no. Game over. Excellent work for WhySoo. DG tried that strategy, but unfortunately the Malok pick in the middle was their kryptonite, and they couldn't have enough lane clear in that middle wave to hold down and get those very, very much needed map control.
Yes, we can see they lacked a lot of range in this game. Hera can only have 3 shots at the long range. Valheim is still getting outranged by Violet as well, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, see, even though Kira does end up having the most gold on the team, but didn't compared to the other side, wow, that gold pales in comparison.
And yes, we've seen Iggy here dominating. She's 38% damage.
Yeah, nobody to stop the Iggy from doing anything. It should have been the Kira or the mid laner, but the mid laner here tonight was a Malok, and it wasn't able to do anything to Iggy once Iggy gets started with his explosive fireballs. It was just kind of unfortunate there for Team DG. They had the idea, but unfortunately in the end, they weren't able to do too much.
Well, here comes the 5th match that I've been looking forward to.
Yes, and here's the best of 5. I think the rules are going to still be the global ban picks, unless Shadow can correct us here. It's usually in best of 7s, the last final game, every single hero is back up and available.
Not in the best of 5 though. So
not in the best of 5. So they're still going to have to work with...
So it's still global ban pick. Yes, so it's still global ban pick.
There we go. So no more. Well, there's no reset in the best of 5. So both teams are still gonna have to worry about their compositions here. It should be a really nice and fun match to watch. The picks are going to be intellectual, and then it's going to be a very, very bloody fight, I think, for this final match to see who goes on to the semifinals and face AMK.
Yes, I would say Red Team has a significant advantage here on the red side, because they can basically counterban pick most of their picks here. What are the main heroes that are still available? I know Lubu's available for WhySoo here.
We've seen the Florentino once tonight. Some of the other heroes, like Wonder Woman, hasn't been played at all. We saw Omen hasn't been played at all here tonight either. Roxy, well, you don't see Roxy a whole ton, but then on the sides of ADC, Thornhouse came out once, Hayate played out once as well. Violet played out, not by, like, both sides still has a pretty healthy pool. For ADC, Zata hasn't been played at all from both sides. Could be pulling that one out. That hero out there.
Zata is a gamble in this type of game. I would say Omen coming out here would be really interesting, because he basically enables you to have a huge advantage in the team fight with his ultimate.
Yeah, I guess you have to take a look at what the marksman is going to be as well, because usually you want to get your ultimate onto that marksman, but
well, I'm expecting Hayate to get banned from the side who hasn't played it yet. So.
WhySoo is going to be on the blue side for the final match, and DG will be on the red side.
Yes, that's correct. And DG still hasn't pulled out the Iggy as well. And Dirac hasn't shown up as well, which is quite surprising. Go check the numbers. Click up so you can see other heroes that you're banned. This is small little thing that you can click. Huh?
Push the arrow up.
Push the arrow up, yeah.
Push arrow upwards. You unban TNet. Push the arrow up. Which team is this? Which team? WhySoo. Okay, Zip. Listen up. Check these names. Zip, Liliana, Kat, Ryoma, Yawn, Chi, Mina, L'Oreal, Thorn.
Yeah. L'Oreal?
No, is this the same team or not? No, that's the opposite team. Okay, Irie, Yipnet, Lubu, Leville, Agnes, Errol, Zenial, Florentino, Red. Last game was Mina. Do you have everyone now?
Let's count.
Which team? You should have. No, you have Joker, Hayate, Varus. You don't have Varus.
Varus.
Yeah. Varus was the winning MVP third game. You're the one who marked that as MVP.
Are we live now? Hello guys, we are back with the penultimate match of this series. Again, from WhySoo on the blue side and Die Geringverdiener on the red side. We're going to be calling them DG, and the first ban from WhySoo comes out as Violet. This is
okay. Violet coming out as the first ban from WhySoo.
No late game ADC.
They're saying no to all sorts of the different ADCs here, and leaving it to I guess to DG to ban out the Kira, since they just used it last game. And I can't remember which side used. Oh, I think WhySoo already used it, so then DG doesn't have to worry about that this game.
Yes.
They can ban out maybe the Lubu that WhySoo hasn't used. Lubu hasn't been used by WhySoo this entire match. Right now it's up to them to see if they want to first pick that Lubu, or maybe they want to pick something else. Matlock getting covered.
Well, they can pick it later in those two next picks, since either way,
Yep.
DG can't pick that.
That's right, DG has already used up their Lubu, they've already used up their Irie.
Zip, though, hasn't been used from Team DG.
Zip could be the pick that DG goes for, because Team WhySoo, they're just banned out their marksmans.
Well, that's actually quite smart, since banning out marksmen makes Zip quite... Zip has to work with a late game marksman to use all his powers.
It is going to be the Matlock getting locked down here for Team WhySoo. Matlock most likely going into the Slayer lane or the support.
Or mid again.
Or mid again, but we saw how ineffective that was against especially some longer range heroes like Iggy. I'm also surprised that WhySoo, I don't think WhySoo has pulled out an Iggy yet for themselves.
No, WhySoo pulled out Iggy in one last game.
Sorry, yeah, you are absolutely correct. Didn't have that on my notes here.
So Caffeine is a first pick.
Oh, they're gonna just make sure that they don't get panned out on the second rounds of bans here, DG. So Caffeine getting picked up here, and it's gonna be also the Chi getting locked in now. The Chi into the Matlock, not a bad matchup. Of course, we're still not really sure where this Matlock is gonna go. Chi could go fill into the jungle as well. So strategy-wise, both sides not really showing their hands exactly.
If I'm correct, WhySoo still haven't pulled out the Hayate.
Yes, I do think you're right. WhySoo still hasn't pulled out the Hayate.
And
I wonder if they're gonna show it up right now, since the Caffney has already been locked in. Teamy and Fennec. This could be a jungle Fennec.
Yes, a jungle trying to get Fennec as fed as possible, basically.
Right, yes. Fennec now, I do believe, has that ability to refresh his lightning roll.
Well, he always has it with his first ability, getting the 4 shots. Refreshes it.
Yeah, so that should be very nice for him to be able to just get out of trouble here.
Yes. I'm wondering though, Fennec isn't that strong as a late game ADC.
Maybe it's a comfort pick. It could be a comfort pick coming out from WhySoo here. And yeah, I guess they didn't want to run something like a Hayate jungle because the damage reductions that he has in the jungle. And they could have ran a Lindis.
They could have ran a Thorn. Thorn on this patch regained the ability to do magic damage in the jungle.
Do they still have Thorn? I can't remember in the global ban picks, do they still have Thorn? Because they might not.
Yes, I don't actually recall it.
Yeah,
but I know for sure they either have Thorn or Violet, which both could be very good in the jungle.
Yeah, instead they opt to ban them out instead. Although Fennec does have that mobility, so maybe that's what they were going for. I'm not too sure.
Yes.
Mina is gonna be the other side's support pick, most likely. Locked in, and now we're into the second round bans.
That gets banned here. They just don't want... If Fennec goes into the jungle as their main carry, banning out Scud is actually quite smart, since Phoenix does take quite a bit of time to just kill that Scud, since he's so fast.
Yeah, if it is going to be a Scud into that enemy side jungle, that would be kind of a big trouble there. D-Rat getting banned out here from the side of DG. Actually, they could have used up the D-Rat, because with that Teamy and Fennec getting shown, they kind of know that it could be a Fennec jungle, and Dirac would be able to actually counter that a little bit, provide a little bit of a shielding with that Genesis barrier.
Yes, one more thing we have to point out though, if they just decide to pick a Hayate on top of the Fennec, Hayate could go as a solo laner and do fine against most heroes.
However, I don't think that would include Chi if Chi ends up into the Slayer lane.
No, Hayate still hard wins against Chi. He doesn't lose against any warriors.
Lucy's turn to pick.
In my opinion, Chi still has that, I think if you play the Chi well, Hayate can't, you won't exactly lose against Hayate is what I would say.
Yes, you won't lose, but farming in the Slayer lane is actually quite safer. But no, we see that Florentino though, and Momonga as a mage.
Ooh.
Now that's an interesting.
Okay. And we got an AoE on the other side getting picked up here. AoE, early game hero, should be able to cut in and hopefully do something to this Fennec. Now Fennec should have the absolute protection from Teamy. And just Teamy helping him trying to clear. But if the AoE gets some help from, say, the Mina or somebody, they should be able to also open things up and go in for some invades. But L'Oreal is going to be the answer here. Possibly for the Florentino, I'm not too sure.
I would have preferred Iggy here. But L'Oreal is a solid pick against the Florentino.
I agree with you though. Iggy, if they did pick up an Iggy, they should be able to do a lot to this Fennec and just shut him down. So yeah, L'Oreal, however, needs some gold to be able to get there. She still can do a little bit in the early game, but with that lane clear not really there, Maganga might be able to just push her back. It looks like Maganga or the Malak or the Florentino, one of them is gonna have to go into the Abyssal lane. It might be the Florentino. I think it might be the Malak. Yeah, it should be the Malak going into the Abyssal lane, but that might be a little bit difficult because he's going to have to go up against the Kafni.
Yes, well, he just needs to clear his wave and try and rotate. So that should be fine. I'm still leaning towards Team G here in terms of team composition.
10 seconds.
You're leaning towards Team DG. For me, I think the mid lane pick here, Maganga, is a little bit strange.
Momonga isn't strange because Momonga deals a lot of damage and it's basically his damage output rivals ADC levels, which basically means that Fennec doesn't have to carry the whole damage output on his own. Since they don't have Iggy anymore,
But then all of your control abilities now are going to come out from the Malak and the Teamy, and then who's also in terms of lane clear in the late game. Like if you do get into the late game, I don't know if Maganga is going to be able to clear those lanes as fast as some other mages.
His range isn't as big as some other mages.
Yeah, exactly. So that might hurt in the late game here. So they might want to, well, I guess in the late game they might need to, hand it off towards Fennec. But then if they're forced in a position to have to defend, right now WhySoo doesn't really have that in their kit. A nice fast lane clear coming through from DG. As they now rotate to the bottom side here, Malak was actually going over to try and defend his side instead of going to push down this lane. We can see a completely passive Malak that's going to be the play.
Yes, and he gets poked out quite heavily here as well.
Yeah, even just trying to go up there to make a trade hurts a lot on this Malak. Oh, it might be the first blood coming through. No, he gets the shield coming through from his own second ability, but the death side comes through and hooks back both the Teamy and the Malak. Malak is going to be the first to fall.
Well, yes. That's the main issue with having a Malok as a summer league against ADCs.
Yeah, you said that he might hold out very well, but if they're gonna continue to make these encounters happen, they really need to just leave Malok alone and stop bringing the L'Oreal over and maybe spend their time somewhere else. And Fennec is gonna reach level 4, no problem. He's gonna go up towards the Spirit Sentinel, maybe take that as the first objective here. Meanwhile, Aoi on the other side is just finishing his final her final camp there, coming in to just contest now the Spirit Sentinel. As
Great
big stun comes out. Yeah, Aoi rolls forward with the Dragon Claws. He's gonna back out now though, deciding that she doesn't have enough damage yet to be able to kill anybody. Here's another little fart coming through from the team meet, however, even though it does land on 2 members here, nobody else follows up with the damage, so he's gonna just roll back out of there.
Wow. Is it weird to see that Team DG there just want to go to Dragon and then skip a creep there?
I think they knew that Team WhySoo was playing passive, so they just kind of picked it up. Since all 5 of them were there, they were able to burst that one down quite fast. So I think that was an okay idea. Teamy, however, this game is not exactly doing what we thought he would to help the Fennec out all the time. I mean, once they picked up the Madlock, they knew that they were going to lose this lane. So I still think Teamy should spend some of his time more with Fennec and trying to feed him up more.
Yes,
I think that's what we expected.
Yeah, well, you still want to keep the tower up as long as possible, though. So I'm not surprised Teamy does go there from time to time.
Yes, but then if Fennec can just get his rotation faster, they should be able to come and gank that bottom lane, as they are going to now. And then Malok, all his job is to just maybe freeze the wave on the outside of the tower and try to clear it without losing too much HP. Small ambush coming through here, but I don't think... Okay, here's the first ability now used by Teamy. Teamy trying to get a stun up there, but it was going to be the Aoi there stunning him up instead. Here he goes. Malok, shockwave comes down. Teamy is going to be the first to fall without being able to pop as being a bro. Ooh, shockwave does stun up onto the Mina, and Mina gets poked down really low, but unfortunately that's just not enough damage. Chi comes through, trying to steal that blue buff.
Yes, and we can see that even though Malok is having to play really safe here under the tower, his lane clear is fairly quick.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. Oh, Aoi's swinging in, ultimate coming back, and they're going to be able to finish that Fennec.
Great damage contribution, though.
Yeah, that was a good combo there with the L'Oreal as well, and now Florentino is in trouble. Ultimate comes through for you. It's going to end up with a double kill. There's the Fusillade getting used there already by the Caffney. For you, they've already pushed in the middle wave. Right now, WhySoo's rotation is a bit passive. It is okay for the Malok, as we talked about. He just wants to make sure he defends that lane and defends that tower as much as possible. Before you, a little bit of an engage here. Teamy trying to push through and help out Malok. But right now, Team DG has this entire red side under their control. Aoi swings in and being able to just take away Teamy. Teamy unable to pop the ultimate at all. No time to even react there.
Yes, and I'm getting very afraid for Team WhySoo here. Because, as we mentioned before, Fennec isn't that much of a hyper carry.
Yes, and so yeah, that's exactly why we were talking about that. If the team just follow the Fennec earlier in the games, but now it's almost like too late, And then here's Death Scythe coming down, just distracting the Fennec from being able to reach his blue buff. the Maganga is going to be able to kill out the Mina as she retreats back. L'Oreal not able to really do any to retreat out, but she's gonna just fight it till the end. Takes out the enemy jungler. Angie's lover already used the ultimate to engage there. Not gonna be able to use the ultimate to back out now. Just gets the ultimate as she falls. Fight's gonna continue though as the Chi stayed a little bit to take down that tower. She should be able to hold it for herself. She gets one kill, but the Maganga's poison damage is gonna take him out. Take her out.
Yeah, and Maganga's ultimate killed him at the last second there, or else he would have went down.
That was a very excellent, very well timed ultimate there from Maganga.
Let's see now. Finnick trying to do quite well, but only on 4k gold. Well, Momonga, after getting the shutdown on L'Oreal, is actually doing even better than him.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And let's not talk about the Caffeine, who's on 5.4k gold here.
Yeah, right now, if they just form up their fights around this Caffeine, oh, here is the swing coming through from Hanji's lover. He just went for a little swing in the park there and decided to back out. He didn't find any knockups there onto the enemies.
Sorry, I'm having a light spike here.
Oh, no worries. Here's another roll coming through from Henry's lover, trying to get to GTL, but GTL is going to lightning roll out of that one. The blue buff, however, now under contention. TB onto really low health as the AoE presses forward.
Will have my revenge.
It's going to be the Mina falling now, and they actually didn't get to that blue buff at all. Excellent little peel there from Team WhySoo as they're gonna continue to defend inside their own jungles. Shockwave comes down to clear that mid lane and then disallow the Team DG to press any further forward.
Yes, but at this point, I think the Team WhySoo has to start catching this Caffeine. Otherwise, when Finnick gets the gold, Caffeine's already fulfilled.
Oh yes, oh yes, yeah. Oh, L'Oreal kind of caught out right in the middle of nowhere, but he does have the Team DG does come through, collapsing 5 men now towards the middle side. An ultimate now used by Fennec.
Yes.
Not gonna have the ultimate to be able to clear this lane, but they do get excellent positioning here, and they're gonna be able to clear out that lane. DG kind of just let them clear that lane as they now move on towards the Dark Slayer. Spotted out by Teamy though. Here's a big pull. Death Scythe lands onto 3 people. The Purify does come through though. And then in front though is going to be the Florentino first to fall. And now it's just going to be the Caffeine. Caffeine just dealing a whole bunch of damage, pushing through. Aoi follows up with a bunch of damage as well, swinging around. The Fusillade now getting used. Is now only going to be the Maganga Arctic Orb used now to protect herself as the Caffeine. Caffeine is trying to just get out alive. She uses the Bow of Slaughter. I think that must be the Bow of Slaughter as she gets a massive amounts of heals and stays alive throughout that fight. Drake gets dropped down mid.
And might be GG actually.
It's going to be 4 on, actually 5 on Wife. And it's gonna be only the Florentino. Florentino already a very difficult, character that cannot really clear this lane. The shock does come through onto the minion wave. The minion wave does fall, but there's another one immediately coming through. Everybody falls down really low, but then here being a bro, being able to revive the Teamy and the Matlock. Now it's gonna be Yumi Shumeng just by himself. That was an excellent defense though, as they trade out a lot of different enemies there from the side of DG, but again, the lifesteal coming through from the Caffeine. Caffeine so far ahead on gold right now, 10k. She's basically full build, and now we're left with 2 high ground towers left on the side of WhySoo. That was almost a game over run there.
Yes. I think at that point the Finnick ultimate actually did a lot of damage on Team DG, that putting them low. Otherwise, that would have been terrible. Finnick's ultimate is one of those skills that is amazing aggressively, but when it comes to lane clear, it's second to none.
Now the Abyssal Dragon is going to be in the eyes of Team DG. That Abyssal Dragon just melts under the pressure from Kafni and AoE. Lightning Roll trying to get out of there. Shockwave does come down. It's going to be used to peel through, but then MET going to be able to pull through both of those tanky characters there as AoE now presses forward, knocks up 2 people, and Ananas is going to have to fall as well. Oh no, it's again Yumi Shumang.
Can she defend once more?
Maganga against the rest of the world. We're gonna have to take a look, and we have that bow slaughter onto the Kafni. We have to remember that one. So even though she looks low right now, it's gonna have to be a burst damage to deal the rest of that. But Miti is gonna be able to death sight that Maganga, and there's absolutely no chance for Maganga to defend this. And WhySoo is going to get defeated by DG. DG will advance with a score of 3-2 towards the semifinals and take on AMK.
Yes. And as we predicted, the drafting phase actually decided this game here.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think you know, at first the draft didn't look too bad for Team WhySoo, but then I don't know, just
no.
For me,
yeah.
For me, like I think really we could have played someone else in the middle lane here, even though Yumi Shuman was doing 44% of the damage. And then another thing was in their execution, we expected Teamy to go with the Fennec and to just feed him up, because that was sort of like their key player in order to make the make the difference and get some picks off of these other off of the members of the Team DG. But Teamy didn't do that. Teamy went and protected Malok instead. We said Malok, all he had to do was to just defend that lane as long as possible, right? But unfortunately, that was not how WhySoo played it out, and the script didn't go as they would have hoped.
Yes, and I still don't rate Fennec as a hyper carry. I think he just doesn't have the damage output. We see over there Cafe doing 40% of the damage.
Yes, Kafni had a really good time there. Nobody was really putting enough pressure onto Kafni. Most of the time, Florentino was staying up in the top lane, of course, getting just locked in by that Chi. She did an excellent job to do that. And again, just, the pivotal, character there for Team WhySoo had to be the Fennec. There was nobody else that could do the job, Malok could provide the shock, but the Fennec needed to have enough gold to be able to follow up on that damage. Yumi Shimang, of course, he did a lot in terms of dealing damage and all, but he wasn't able to reach exactly the people that he wanted to reach. If he wanted to reach, he needed to, I don't know, sprint in or something like that to get to that. But Fennec should have been the person to do the job.
Yes, and one more thing, even Yumi Shimang played at this as a type of support, looking at his items though. I think, he built an Aegis there. So he didn't even go for damage.
Yeah, he was just, like, in this scenario, like, if he wanted to, maybe he would have gone for some burst damage or things. But he went, like you said, trying to just provide a little bit more damage to the team in case Fennec had to fall. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for them because Fennec just couldn't find an impact in this game. It was difficult, very difficult for him.
Here we see a misuse by the Blitzblade here. On the Fennec, usually your third item should be your bow slaughter. Fennec is one of those heroes where he is truly strong when he can also outplay. Bow slaughter allows us that. And going for Blitzblade, maybe it's probably a too buffed item currently, still doesn't give you the outplay potential.
Yeah, well, I think still it comes down to whether or not you were able to get that early game gold advantage as that Fennec. He would have had a lot of outplay potential, being able to dance in and out of of the crowd using his lightning roll, and if he places his ultimates in the right place, he should be able to burst down that Cacophony no problem. But then just unfortunately wasn't able to get that pacing that he wanted to do. Of course, he might have been using the Blitzblade, like you said, because of the buff this patch, but unfortunately it didn't come out to what he had hoped for. Maybe the Blow of Slaughter would have provided him a little bit more sustain in that jungle, especially with the pressure coming through from AoV and the Mina just walking right into their jungle every single time.
At the end of the day here, other than the man pick, I think DG did a great job just making sure that carries are fed.
Yes, indeed. And again, like throughout the series, we saw the first game, they put a lot of meta heroes, they ran through the entire WhySoo composition. They let go of some games there, due to perhaps some less, let's just say, less practice heroes. We saw some missed combos here and there, but then at the end of the day, they were able to ambush out, in game number, I think it was game number 3 game number 3, the ambushes came through, or game number 4, I can't remember, but anyway, the ambushes came through to turn the games around.
Well, yes,
and then finally
here we see that WhySoo, apart from Florentino and maybe Malok in this meta, the other 3 picks aren't much offensively tier 1 meta heroes anymore.
Anyways, congratulations now to DG, as we have analyzed this entire series through and through. They did a fantastic job, both sides, in fact, and it was a very, very even series, a very evenly fought. DG, WhySoo, congratulations to you guys for this wonderful, wonderful series, and DG is going to come out on top, of course, and congratulations to them. Going towards the semifinals. We'll be looking forward to that on the 29th. Tomorrow we will be playing another 2 semifinal games. Let's just read you guys the teams. Let's just read the viewers the teams here. It is going to be Team Yakamaz and Yakamov. Okay.
Yakamov. I read it.
Sure. Okay. So July 27th is going to be Team Yakamov and TFSFM. Clown Cats versus Henji is God, I think.
Henji or Hangers? I don't know.
Hengis. Yes, we do not know the pronunciation as much there. If anybody knows, they can go ahead and correct us here. And hopefully the producer will let us know and we will get the names correct next time.
Yes, and we would like to do a special thank you to Timmy, AoV, and Trovo for the 100k vouchers in prize pool and the 150 euros in cash. We would like to thank Shadow and his team for providing us with this great tournament. And I'm Yugi PK with Annie here, signing out.
See you guys next time. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. CEST. Bye now.
Hello everyone. We welcome you to our very first European Summer League, organized for the game Arena of Valor. I am Toka, and I will introduce you to the tournament schedule. The tournament consists of 2 stages, the group stage and the playoffs. The group stage will take place on the 19th, 20th, 23rd, and 24th of July. The quarterfinals on the 26th and 27th of July. The semifinals will happen on the 29th and the 30th of July. The match for the 3rd place will happen on the 2nd of August. The grand final will take place on the 5th of August. Let us now take a closer look. The group stage consists of 8 groups, each with 4 teams. Every group will have its own time slot. On every group stage day, 2 groups will play. The tournament time zone is the Central European Summer Time, UTC +2. Group A plays on day 1 in the morning while Group B plays in the evening. Each group plays according to the following schedule. Team 1 will play against Team 2, Team 3 will then play Team 4, then Team 1 will play Team 3, Team 2 will then go up against Team 4, Team 1 will finish off their day by playing Team 4, and finally Team 2 will play Team 3, where the numbers indicate the team number in the group. Every slot has a scheduled time